Hi guys.
Hello.
I don't know who you are,
Me
but
neither.
I'm sure you're gonna love this video.
Do you even know what we're going to talk
I have
about?
no idea what we're gonna speak about, and that is the beautiful thing. I think that is a beautiful thing about where we've come to on our journey.
Yeah, just press the button.
We just press the button, and we trust in the flow of whatever's meant to come, even if we just sit here and do nothing. That's a pretty nice place to be.
Yes, do nothing.
Isn't it funny how much pressure comes from expectation,
Yeah.
and that we're conditioned? I can speak from my experience. To get up in the morning, and you have this idea that you've got to tick all these boxes and get through all these things,
Yeah.
for it to have been a success or an achievement or something. And wow, the pull of that is really strong, really strong.
Yeah. Till you just decide that you're not going to follow it anymore and observe the pull. Which can be very healing. Suddenly you step out of this pattern of I have to create, I have to succeed, I have to have money, I have to. It's quite a stressful place to be in.
Okay, so playing devil's advocate, I'm sure there's going to be people watching this saying things like, but we live in a world, I don't know why I'm doing American accent, but but we live in a world where, you have to get a job, you have to earn money. What kind of fantasy world are you living in, lunatic? What, I'm going to sit around all day doing nothing?
Yeah, why not?
How am I going to pay my bills?
Well, obviously, there is some certain things that you have to possibly take care of. But however, when you actually look at how much is it that you really need, and I'm talking about the bare minimum. Okay, so if you live in a flat that is big, you can find a smaller flat. The rent is going to be less, or a less posh area. How much do you actually need for groceries? Not eating out in restaurants, anything like that. You can cut your amount to a very small amount that you actually need. So if you're really serious about having less work, that is one place to start where you actually can cut your budget down and start focusing on yourself. And then you can also cut your work time. So instead of working 5 days a week, you can start working 3 days a week or 2 days a week or whatever you have figured out. And the other thing is that what you can do is just you live on the minimum to save up, and then you quit your job, and you have money for the next 6 months or something like that. That gives you peace of mind as well. To have a certain time period where you do not have any responsibilities coming your way. It is ultimately your decision and in your power to create the conditions where you actually can start doing nothing.
Breathing.
Breathing.
Yeah, I think it's what you just said. It's your decision and your power, your empowerment, which that's where I think the problem is. And a lot of people are living in a space of disempowerment where they're given their power, where they think they have to keep going on the hamster wheel. And ultimately, we decide how stressful or peaceful our lives are. That's the key thing. So we are human beings, and we are living in a physical world where we do need to take care of some basic needs.
Sure.
But I think the difference is how enjoyable that process is in earning us some money, in finding a place to live, in eating food, in doing all these things that can just be quite peaceful, depending on what mindset you bring to it. Or it could be, oh my God, I've got to get this and this and this, and yeah.
It's a place of victimhood that a lot of people live in, where they think I am a victim to my circumstances. But the circumstances I am experiencing today have been created through me, have been created through you as a person. And when I first heard of that, victimhood versus ownership and this kind of thing, I thought, I'm an owner. till I realized that I have quite a few actually, or I had quite a few beliefs and thoughts inside of me that were much more aligned to victimhood. Like, oh, I can't do this, or no, this is not possible, and all those blocks. This is a very clear sign of victimhood. And it's a strong, very strong word. I intended to use that word because it's you can start waking up from that. Oh no, this is not possible. This is not possible. And actually, look, what is it that I can do? What is it that I can change?
Hmm.
And the other thing actually is that you can start doing nothing on a weekend. Start with one day. That's where I started.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's start small. Start just creating space where, right, for these 3 hours, this half a day, you don't have any shoulds or obligations. That's the thing to take away. There's no expectations, no shoulds, nothing you have to do, and then you can start easing your mind, because I think it can be quite it's a big transition to ask for someone to go and who's lived in quite a rigid, normal, conventional way of expectations and obligations to suddenly just drop all of that. So a way to transition is just one day a week, a few days a week. You get into the habit where you start telling your mind that it doesn't have anything it has to achieve. And then the beautiful thing is that that's where I find I achieve the most. Because the space is there for this natural creative force to come through that doesn't need any kind of obligation or should. I love playing music, so it would just that it's like a force is almost taking over me, and I'm just like playing the music, writing the songs, or writing up a workshop, or whatever it is that I like doing. It just happens by itself.
But has it been right from the beginning like that?
What do you mean?
The first day that you started not doing anything, you didn't have any obligations, no shoulds. Was it right from the start that this was like a super productive day?
I see that I've got more used to the energy with time. But the key thing is just the more space I've developed inside myself, that's where it's improved. So maybe the first day I decided to not do anything, there still wasn't enough space. There wasn't.
Yeah, that's
it
my
was
experience.
A bit more space after one more day. But it's surprising how long it kind of takes for to space to actually come in. You need, people say how when they go on holiday, after a week, that's when you've relaxed and then you go home again, but you're only just starting to relax. It takes a while, if you're not used to it, to have that space inside where your mind's not always thinking about what's the next thing I have to do.
And the funny thing is with holidays, the fun thing is with holidays that it could be another thing where you're like, oh yes, I should do this. I'm in this country and I should go and see this stuff and I should go there and all this thing. And just from my personal experience, it does take some time. Not necessarily in that you have consecutive days that you have to do nothing, but just to get used to actually not doing anything. And when I started first, I had the rule for myself: no electronics and no books, because that is where I would distract myself. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing anything, I'm just watching this show, and then the day's over. And actually there wasn't any space, because this all time was external influences coming on me, and I was being filled with all that material from that show or that book or whatever it is. So it is really about creating space and actually observing. That's the most important thing, observing. So what's happening inside of me? Well, I feel bored, or I feel this urge to take out my computer and start watching something, and sitting with that, and allowing that just to be in the system. And then once you have had this kind of experience of more space, then I absolutely agree, those days can be very, very productive. However, they are not a goal to be productive.
Yeah, that's another trick. That's another trick. The mind can turn that into a practice and a doing.
Yeah,
I'm going to go and do my space.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just another layer, another sneaky layer that the mind take away the essence of it. So it's very fine lines, isn't it?
It is like it feels to me it's a little bit like a game that you start playing, where you like start to figure out the rules and the pitfalls and the traps. So it takes some time being with you because everyone is a little bit uniquely wired, right? There's some general guidelines, but it takes time for you to realize how are you functioning, what's happening, where are you actually trapping yourself when you're actually thinking that you're being free or doing spiritual practice, but actually you're just screwing yourself over. It happened to both of us, you know. So, but it's a natural part of the game that you play, and I didn't realize first that it was just later when I realized, oh man, I'm like really figuring this stuff more out, and it's not figuring it out intellectually; it's figuring it out from the being, from my whole being. How this stuff is interlinked and working together, and how I can have more space and peace in myself.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, really worthwhile. I mean, I think that's been the most worthwhile thing I've done in my life.
Or not done.
Yeah, not done, exactly. That's the funny thing. Dropped. Or not dropped. I don't know. You know, it's just we're in that space where it's paradoxical and it's hard to talk about it because the words they're always attached to something. It's not the attachment. It's the state of being, I guess.
I think a lot of it is to do with how reactive you are to the phenomena, the mental phenomena that you experience. That's one way of sort of measuring your progress is. Because we're just here now in this moment, and then we experience the mental phenomena which you could compartmentalize into sensations, images, and thoughts. That's kind of reality in a nutshell. And it's almost the training of not reacting to, a thought might come in now that says, Sam, you got to say something good for this video, let's say. And it's just the training to be able to go, oh, just hello, and not react.
Yeah.
Or you might have a sensation now that you need to do a massive fart, and maybe, knowing you would just fart, so that's cool. But in other circumstances, maybe when you're meeting the Queen. Don't react. No, but then that's getting complicated because we don't want to be giving any health information out about holding in your farts. But you get the picture.
Yes, I like that.
To not react, but it's not like a real tense. Oh, I can't react to anything. Oh, I've got to be like on guard the whole time because I've been in that energy as well, and that's really tiring and it's almost worse than where I was before. It's more of just this non-stickiness. I think that's another way.
Yeah,
you're the phenomena of reality of awareness is just coming and going, and your practice, if you like, is just being non-sticky. So it's almost like an unpractice of sticking and reacting and doing just. And then you can kind of, when desires come, because that's another thing that people, in the spiritual world, or whatever they say, desires are bad. Some people say desires are bad and all this, and that's not what I understand. It's almost like you can pick and choose and play with the desires that come and just enjoy them. Maybe some of them aren't probably best for your higher self, so maybe you leave them, but maybe others you think, yeah, why not? I'm human. Let's go and see this or do that or play with this or create this, and it's more of a playful interaction rather than a fearful resistance game.
Yes.
So, any closing thoughts?
Any closing thoughts? Funny. It's the thoughts that can close, right? What?
This is a trick. Yeah, what's coming is whenever you're watching this video, after you finish watching this, for the rest of the day, just play with the reality where you don't have to react to every thought and sensation and image that comes in. See what happens when you just allow it to just keep going. When Joachim said, if you get bored, have you ever tried to just sit with the boredom and actually feel the boredom fully? And I love because we're watching a video of Benito, I can't remember his surname, Massaro, and John, what's his name, John?
I have no idea.
I loved what he said about there's a superstition. How if you really feel something, then our mind thinks that's what we really become and get lost in it. So like if you feel depressed or a failure, if you actually allow yourself to feel that, then you're stuck in it.
And you are it.
And you are it. That you're defined by
depressed.
It. Yeah. So it's like when the boredom's coming in, oh shit, I gotta distract myself because it's bad to be bored. There's all this resistance of that sensation. But why not try just how bored can you be? Like just see how bored you can be. Experiment with that. How depressed can you be? And how deep can you feel the depression without and allowing it just to be there? That's the key thing.
Yes, I like that. And just take it easy. You get lost in something. You're lost in something. It's fine. And you notice, oh well, I just was lost in that feeling or that thought or whatever it is, and it's fine. And next time you realize, oh, there's this feeling. Oh yes, I'm really attracted to this guy or girl or whatever, and you're like, let's sit with that. That's good. Doesn't have to be all the time. There's no hurry, no rush.
Because you're going nowhere.
From here to here.
It's the eternal moment. When you actually tap into that, I don't know what happens to you, but when that really shifts, the eternal moment, then all sense of hurry dissipates. It transcends the intellectual understanding, but there's a shift in my being that's like, oh, you're just like, this is it. So there's no concept of hurry or everything's just like smooth, like slow motion almost.
Good place to be in.
Good place to be. Okay, guys. I think we'll end the video there.
Yeah, just press the button.
All right, let's press the button. Have a brilliant day.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy just being. Bye.